Hello, basketball people, we have news. Let's go to more news about the Golden State Warriors. I ask you to give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, as I am a Warriors fan. The Warriors are being encouraged by veteran players on the roster to bring back champion Gary Payton too. And Stephen Curry has stated that he really enjoys playing alongside Payton. Another good player the Warriors could bring back is De'Anthony Melton, who is an excellent perimeter defender. As the Golden State Warriors stand poised to bring in multiple veteran free agents this offseason following the inevitable resolution to their standoff with restricted free agent Jonathan Kuminga, a plethora of names have been floated as potential pieces to add to their rotation. Yet, with the loss of veteran center Kevin Looney in free agency, one player remains an absolutely vital piece to bring back: Gary Payton too. With the Warriors looking to furnish their established veteran trio with the necessary pieces to make a run at a championship, Payton's winning skill set and existing understanding of the team's system make him a necessary addition to the roster. Gary Payton too needs to return this offseason. As the offseason opened, it was well known that Golden State would be capped on the moves they could make by the financial limitations of their current roster construction. With roughly $140 million tied up in their trio of Stephen Curry, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green next season, the team, from the outset, was largely forced to seek out players they could sign to veteran minimum deals. Initially, their focus centered on players such as De'Anthony Melton and Seth Curry, pieces who could bring unique defensive and sharpshooting skill sets to the team's backcourt. Yet, as the offseason wore on, Payton, who entered unrestricted free agency at the start of the offseason, remained unsigned. This led to speculation that the team had reached a handshake agreement with Payton to bring him back on a veteran minimum once the Kuminga situation had been resolved. While this is certainly a plausible scenario, nothing has been confirmed as of yet, and the Warriors must do everything in their power to ensure Payton comes back. Last season, through 62 games, Payton averaged 6.5 points, 3 rebounds, and 1.3 assists while shooting 57.4% from the field. While these numbers do not pop off the screen, his penchant for playing winning basketball, hustling for rebounds and steals, made him invaluable to the team's rotation. Now, as Golden State gears up for another season, they have very little room for error. Just one signing or acquisition not working out, such as the Dennis Schroeder trade last season, could be disastrous for the team's chances at carving out a playoff spot in a loaded Western Conference. While their loss of Looney was understandable given their need for a starting caliber center, the team cannot afford to lose two veterans who are already immersed in their system this offseason. Therefore, while players such as Melton and Curry would be intriguing adds, Payton must remain a genuine priority for the front office once they are able to fully negotiate with free agents. De'Anthony Melton is making Warriors rethink the depth chart before he even signs. Melton hasn't re-signed with Golden State yet, but if he does, it could change a lot. It's been a very quiet offseason for the Golden State Warriors, and I think the fanbase is just waiting for something, nay, anything to happen. One more under-discussed development that could still occur would be De'Anthony Melton re-signing with the team. If that ends up happening, it would have the potential to change a lot for this group. Let's first recap exactly what's been going on with Melton since he first joined the Warriors back in July 2024. He only appeared in 6 games for the Dubs last season, starting twice, before suffering an unfortunate ACL injury. He ended up undergoing surgery to repair the torn ligament, ending his season. Ironically, Melton was actually traded last December to the Brooklyn Nets in the deal that got Golden State Dennis Schroeder, who didn't even remain with the Warriors through the end of the season. He of course didn't end up playing in a single contest for the Nets, and he remains unsigned as of this writing. There's a seemingly strong possibility the Warriors could seek to sign Melton a second time, assuming his medical details check out and the team believes he's going to be able to play and produce at a solid level in the upcoming season. Should those items all come together, it's safe to say De'Anthony would be a pretty massive acquisition for this team. De'Anthony Melton could hypothetically start for the Warriors. If you think I'm exaggerating, just listen to Steve Kerr's words after the news broke that Melton would undergo season-ending surgery last year. "It's obviously terrible news. I feel so bad for De'Anthony," Kerr said. "He's such a perfect fit for us and we were so excited to have him and he was clearly going to be our starter next to Steph. The good news is he's a young guy and the surgery is pretty routine these days, so he should be able to come back and resume his career really well. Thinking that Melton would come right in and start with no questions asked obviously isn't totally realistic. It's a guy coming off an ACL injury, so the coaching staff would have to handle the situation with caution. But with that being said, if DeAnthony's up to the challenge and his body feels close to normal again, his skill is too valuable to pass up on. Melton is a solid shooter, point-of-attack defender, and as Kerr states, an excellent fit alongside Stephen Curry. Warriors fans were disappointed to lose him after just 6 games of watching him play, if that tells you anything. If Golden State is able to sign DeAnthony Melton once again, they're going to have to at least consider the possibility of making him their starter alongside number 30 in the backcourt once again. New Warriors target is now painfully obvious after latest development. Sadie Osman has been shooting lights out at Eurobasket, and the Golden State Warriors should try to sign him. With how well Sadie Osman has been shooting at Eurobasket, the Golden State Warriors should seriously consider signing him to a contract. Osman played this past season with Panathinaikos, his first year of international ball since coming over to the NBA for the 2017-18 campaign with the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Warriors still have a lot of work to do in order to fill out their roster heading into next season. They need to figure out the Jonathan Kuminga situation before any other dominoes fall, but Osman's shooting performance with Turkey at Eurobasket should have him firmly on their radar ahead of next year. Adding a forward who can shoot the ball as well as Osman would be a welcome addition to Steve Kerr's lineup. Why should Warriors sign Sadie Osman? Golden State's team is utterly incomplete at the moment. With the Kuminga situation in limbo, the Warriors haven't been able to fill out their roster, with guys like Al Horford and DeAnthony Melton left waiting for their time to come. But even if and when those guys sign on board with the Warriors, they will still have some holes at the forward position. Outside of Moses Moody, Golden State doesn't have any true shooters at the forward position, and even he is more of a wing than a forward. That's why adding Osman, who is still only 30 years old, could be an intriguing option for the Warriors to consider. His performance at Eurobasket has certainly given them something to think about. Through Osman's first 4 games with Turkey at Eurobasket, for wins, he has shot 50% from beyond the arc on 5.5 attempts per game, 11-20 seconds. And he's been shooting well for much longer than just this summer. During his 65-game campaign with Panathinaikos, across 2 competitions, Osman shot 37.4% from deep on nearly 3.95 three-point attempts per game. And the year before that, in 72 games with the San Antonio Spurs, he shot 38.9% from distance on 3.1 attempts. At 6'7", Osman is big enough to play the 3, and could even slide up to the 4 in some small ball lineups. Adding his 3-point shooting to the mix would help Kerr space the floor for Stephen Curry and Jimmy Butler to work. Though Osman didn't play in the NBA last season, he's the exact type of player the Warriors should be looking to add to their roster. Eurobasket has given Osman the chance to show of his skills, and Golden State needs to take notice. Warriors trade idea brings in $205 million award winner to fix defensive issues. As things currently stand for the Golden State Warriors, they have one of the most underwhelming rosters in the NBA. That doesn't take away from the fact that when things are said and done, the Warriors might be in a much better position, but right now, things aren't looking great. However, with the expectation of them signing multiple players over the next few weeks to months, the Warriors should be more than fine. If they're healthy, there's always reason to fear Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, and playoff Jimmy Butler. Despite that, some still think the Warriors will need more, and it isn't unfair to suggest that Grizzlies star could fix Warriors' major issue. Every team could always use more help, but GC Belchamber of Fansided believes there could be a monster move coming. He noted that a Warriors trade could come from an unexpected rival, citing that the Warriors might be interested in making a play for Jaren Jackson Jr. of the Memphis Grizzlies. At the trade deadline last season, Golden State had been stuck in mediocrity for months. At the time, their blockbuster acquisition of Jimmy Butler from the Miami Heat was essentially the only difference-making move they could have made, and, so far, it has worked out swimmingly. Although Jackson just signed a monster 4-year, $205 million contract extension, his cap hit in 2025-26 remains just $35 million, a number that could be worth the price for Golden State to bring in a player of his skill set, he noted. The Grizzlies have continued to make some questionable decisions over the past few years regarding players on their roster. It's possible that they could view Jackson as the next player to get traded, but it'd be questionable to give up on a young player who can score 20-plus points a night and is a former Defensive Player of the Year.